Hey guys, it's Andrea with No Bugs Given. Today is going to be a weekly check-in. This is coming a little bit later than what I normally like to post my videos on for the weekend, but I had a very exciting weekend after the week of me not feeling very well and it just being me being in bed most of the day if I wasn't at work. I got to have some fun and it's going to be reflected in my budget. But if you're new, so glad that you are here. My name's Andrea and this is just going to be a weekly check-in of my spending for the past week. And lucky you get to see my fabulous calculator skills. You're terrible actually, but that's okay. I'm still practicing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my spending tracker. This is from ThePrintablePlans on Etsy. I'll have them in the description below. It's really easy peasy, self-explanatory spending tracker. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and zoom you in and then we'll get started. And we are back. So for the first fun thing that I get to share, I guess, is on 4/6. I think that might have been Sunday. That was a no spend. And it's going to be quite a few no spends, some saving days, but that was a no spend. So that was really good. That was a good way to start off the week. And then on 4/7, I had some bills I had to pay. The first one being the ER bill that I had just recently received. That one was $435, and that came from my medical. And that one, oh, I meant to put the dollar amount right here. My bad. That one hurt a little bit. I mean, I'll have it paid off in about, I think, 5 more months now. It's just supposed to be like a 6-month plan. And so that was, it is what it is. And then just so that way everyone sees, the left column is going to be for cash and then the right is going to be for card. And so this one is tied to my high yield savings account and I do have a card for that. And so that one was a card transaction and that was all taken care of. Another bill that I had was for another medical bill that I already had set up for a little while. It was for an endoscopy that I had done, I think back in, I think it was January that I had that. And so that one, it was only going to be, I have it set for $50, but because I had received my tax return, I added an extra $50 to it, so then that was $100, and so that was taken care of. And these both are no interest. These are both no interest. I don't know if I would call it loans, but no interest debts. And so what I wanted to do was, so that way I still had some money in savings to accrue some interest, and just in case if something else happened that I needed, that liquid money available for me to spend it in case if something else pops up, I just wanted to have a payment plan just in case. And so right now the endoscopy is going to take quite a while to pay off. I'm fine with it. And then the ER bill, that one should be done in the next 5 months. Next is going to be some savings that I did. So I saved with my Circus savings. And so that one was a happy-go-lucky, Circus box. That's also still going on the March freebies that I have in my Ko-Fi if you want to get them. If you want to get them, I would snag them because they'll be gone before the end of the month. And so that one was $10. And that was cash, and this one came from my miscellaneous variable expenses envelope in my binder. So that was, not necessarily fun spending, but there was some spending there. And then on 4/8, because I'm taking responsibility for this one, because I wasn't feeling so well and I didn't go to the store and I just did not have the energy, and Jake was already busy. He was out. He has like a hour commute out to work and then he drives back another hour, so 2-hour commute, and he works 10-hour days. I don't feel good about asking him to doing anything when he's having those type of days or those work days. And so, because it's not very often that he has to go into the office, but when he does, it does drain a lot of energy from him. And so that day I did not, I wasn't feeling very well and I didn't have anything to bring into work for lunch, and so I went to Jersey Mike's for lunch, and I just got myself a plain sandwich and a bag of chips. I got, I think, what is it, like the regular, and I just ate half of it just because I really wasn't able to stomach most of it, but I pushed through just so I can get something to eat, and that was $13, and that one was with my card, and so I pulled the cash out from my food envelope, and so that's how that worked out. And then I needed to get some fuel for my vehicle, and the place where I went to was more expensive than the other one that's closer to us. It was just a convenience thing. I needed to get gas, and so that one was $40.31. That was also with the card, and so for one of my, I guess, like, it's not really a sinking fund, but one of my accounts has just kind of like a little bucket of money, and so I used the card and then I transferred the money from that. So that one was $40.31. And then on 4/9, this was probably one of the days, or man, I can't even remember. Like, last week was such a blur. That one was a no spend day. So I was able to save. What I did was I saved with, what was it? I saved with Build-A-Farm. And boy howdy, did that take a good majority of my money. That took $27 away from me, and that was cash. And so for that one was funded from my food envelope, and that was $14. And then that also came out of personal, which took out $8. And then my miscellaneous, because I did a little oopsie, so I had to take it from somewhere, and that came out of my buffer. So there was that, but I mean, that was a pretty good amount saved, and I'm looking forward. I'm so excited. Oh, I know I've been like sounding like a broken record in my other videos, but I'm really so excited to see what my next prop swap is going to be. Okay, moving on. 4/10, that was also a no spend day, so that was pretty nice. I mean, nice that I'm not spending money, but we do need to get groceries. It's fine. And so for 4/10, I did some savings with my Spring Has Sprung box, or Spring Has Sprung savings challenge. Spring Has Sprung. I love saying it that way now. And that one saved me $28. And so for the 28, about or exactly $13 came from food, and then personal had $6. Ooh, this is gonna be a lot. Home, I used, yeah, this is like me literally taking everything out of anywhere. $7, and then miscellaneous, I took out $2. So that was the total for that, and that was with cash. And then on 4/11 was I wasn't feeling too well, but I was feeling okay enough to go out. And we went out. We had this date night that we were supposed to have with my cousin and his fiance. We've had it kind of like on the docket for like a couple weeks, and because I was feeling like a little bit better, I decided to push through it, and it was fine. And we went to go get some sushi, and that was delicious. I didn't have like any fun sushi. I just had like an avocado roll and a what else did I have? And then I had like what they call like a healthy roll, but it's basically veggies rolled up, so it's kind of basically the same thing as an avocado roll, but my stomach was able to tolerate it, so that was exciting. And besides like other appetizers that we received or ordered, my total that I put in and helped out with was $17, and that one was cash. And then for also did some other savings. It was a week full of savings. Just all the money just came from different places, but that's usually how I have it done. Savings was the Simply Chic, and this one is, I'm so excited about being done with Simply Chic because I'm really excited to share the new savings challenge that I want to share with everybody. That one I saved $24, and the money came from food, which was, let me see, because my chicken scratch writing 24. Okay, so 13 came from food. My threes are so bad. Personal, I had 6, and then from miscellaneous, I had 5, and so that was the 24, and that was cash. And then the last bit was another kind of date day that we had, or double date day that we had with friends that had been planned for a couple weeks. And so yesterday I felt like really good. I only had like one bout of nausea, but I was able to like distract myself so it wouldn't like get in the way of like having fun. And then it kind of went away, and then I basically was fine. And so that one we had gone to go get some snacks or some food, just kind of like little, just like a snack, I guess. And I got Hawaiian, and I got a plate of chicken and rice, and that was it. Didn't get the mac salad or anything like that. It was just plain for the most part, other than like the marinated chicken, but it was delicious, and I felt really good being able to eat some food. So I had some Hawaiian, and that one was 11, and that was with cash. And then let's see. What else? And then we had also went to like the library, and I had took out a couple books that, if you are interested in looking at. The first one is a book that my friend had recommended to me. It's called it's super zoomed in. It's called Already Enough: The Path to Self-Acceptance by Lisa Oliveira. Yes, Lisa Oliveira. Man, I totally spaced out. This is a book that my friend had suggested to me, so I think that's going to be a nice read. And then the other one is going to be Patrick Rothfuss book, and it is called The Name of the Wind. This is thick. Look at how thick that is. That is insane. This is just for size comparison. This is my pen. And so I'm part of this book club with some friends, and I don't know who recommended that one because I was not in the last book club meeting, but when I went to the library to check it out, I'm thinking there's no way that we're going to have this. There's no way I'm going to have this done before the end of May, but I'll make as big of a dent as I can. So if you've read his book, please let me know what the cliff notes are, because that is a thick book. Anyways, so we went to the library, got some snacks, ate some Hawaiian, and then afterwards we played a round of mini golf, and that was cute. That was fun. I got a hole-in-one, which I was surprised of because I was not getting any birdies or eagles or anything or making par. I was at least adding points, and so that I got one hole-in-one. That was pretty cool. And that one was $9. That was also with cash. And then the last thing is that we had some burgers at our place, and I didn't have a burger though. I just had a salad with some chicken, and I didn't even get to finish it, but it's fine. I have it for leftovers, and so I just need to top it off with some dressing. And between like splitting it with like Jake and like friends and whatnot, I chipped in $22, and that was also with cash. So that was food, and this is like a bougie like burger joint too. It's not like a typical, I don't know why they're so bougie. The burgers are really good, but it's just a bougie burger place that we hardly ever get to go to, or that we never really choose to go to. And so it was a little special occasion for us having a double date. So it was like 2 days of dates. And so the weekend was fun. And so what I'll do now is I'll zoom you out, and then we'll see if everything is adding up. And we are back. So I have my budget binder, and what I'll do is I'm just gonna go ahead and do the math to see that everything is mathing. And so let's go over food. So for food, let's see, food. These ones aren't gonna really count, so I'm just gonna kind of shimmy that up a little bit there. Okay, and neither did, no, Circus Box because it has a miscellaneous. Okay, so for food, it originally had 106 left over from last week. So I'm subtracting 13 for Jersey Mike's, and then I'm subtracting 14 from Build-A-Farm, and then I'm going to subtract 13 for Spring Has Sprung, and Simply Chic also 13, Hawaiian 11, and then 19 for burgers. So this should have 23. So I have 20, 21, 22, 23. Yes. Okay, cool. Wonderful. And this should be enough for some light groceries before I get paid this week. I'm not too worried about it, because I still have leftovers from the salad and whatnot. On date night, so that one originally had 20, but between, let's see, the sushi and then the $3 that I used for the burgers, that left me with 0, and look at that, nothing left over. Next is going to be home. Home had $7 originally, and for home, what did I use that? Oh, I used that for Spring Has Sprung, so that one was 7, and so 0. Personal had $48 last time, and let me just go down. We had Build-A-Farm, which I took 8 from, and then Spring Has Sprung, I took out 6. Took out another 6 for Simply Chic, and then for mini golf, which is like an actual spend of 9. So this should be $19. Let's see. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yes. So funny. Like, I gave myself like $90 for my paycheck, and I only spent, like, realistically, what is it? I'm just looking at my spending tracker above, and I've only spent $9. But it's fine. I mean, that's great. I don't need to spend any money if I don't need to, so it just goes to savings. Miscellaneous had 23, and for miscellaneous, I did save with the Circus Box, so that was 10, and then I also borrowed 5 for Build-A-Farm, and then another 2 for Spring Has Sprung, and then Simply Chic, I borrowed 5, and that leaves me with $1 happy dollar. Look at that, $1 happy dollar. And then I added the extra, what was it, 13 for Jersey Mike's towards my credit card. And then for the fuel, let's see, the fuel, that one's already taken care of. I already paid it off from my fuel one. But that's it. So everything is adding up, and I am so excited to do another cash allocation to my 2-week spending for my variable expenses. And then let's see, the next video, I honestly might not do a Circus Box. It just kind of depends on if, like, what we spend when we go to the grocery store. But this is the weekly check-in. It was mostly saving, and then 2 days of lots of fun. And so I hope this helped out in any type of way. And as always, I appreciate you guys being here and for being so gracious as I'm trying to figure out, like, because I have, like, my setup. I had my setup off camera for so long, and so sharing it online, I was just trying to think of, like, a good way to, like, make it helpful. And so still learning, but I appreciate all, your guys' graciousness. And so I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day. And as always, I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye.